Is just going to be the chorus from a song that was sent to me via email. One of the UUA musicians is collecting all of the songs that they're singing as part of the demonstrations in Minneapolis. And this is one that they do quite often. So I invite you to rise in body and spirit. And we are going to sing One Foot in Front of the Other.
One foot in front of the other, and lead Welcome to the Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. We're grateful that you have chosen to worship with us this morning. If you're new to CVUUS, we look forward to getting to know you during our fellowship time downstairs after the service. And if you're new or returning and joining us on Zoom, hello to you as well. My name is Jordan Young. I'm on the worship team, and most weeks, one of us on the worship team works with the minister to facilitate the service. There are a number of ways at CVUUS that we stay in community with one another. There are yellow cards, which you'll find just outside the sanctuary door. There's on a little table with some cards. That's a way you can write down a joy or a concern that you may want to share with the congregation and put those in the collection basket when it comes around. There are pink cards on that same table, which is a way to get in touch with the pastoral care team if there's someone you'd like to talk to or get a little assistance with, or just have another ear to talk with. And there's an envelope on that table where you can deposit those privately. And there are blue cards back on the welcome table, and that will get you on to our very occasional mailing list. And if a hearing assist device would be useful to you, those are available back from the tech crew in the back corner of the sanctuary. That's a lot of stuff. Hopefully we've gotten the business out of the way. Hopefully everyone is warm enough. You might see me shuck the sweater during the service. It's warmer in here than it is at my house, which is a good thing. But I'm glad that you've all made it, and cars did their thing, and snow shovels did their thing, and here we are. It takes an impressive collection of people to bring all the pieces together for our Sunday service. Today I'd like to take a moment to thank the hospitality team. Late in the service, you will see some folks slipping out. They are not headed for their cars. They're headed for the fellowship hall downstairs, where we have, and that is why we have hot coffee, cold milk, and many plates of goodies. They've also been working for the past hour or more getting things set up, and they'll be cleaning up when most of us leave, and doing a host of things that I am probably not aware of. So my thanks and our thanks to them for making us feel welcome after the service. Many years ago, the children in our family were in elementary school, and we spent an extraordinary evening outside a fire at the Cornwall School. Wolfson, an Abenaki storyteller, shared a number of tales from the Abenaki tradition with us. Some had been continuously transmitted from the earliest days of their settlement here, millennia ago. Every week, in one way or another, we acknowledge that we meet on the unceded land of the Abenaki. It falls to us to remain mindful of that fact and continue to look for ways in which we can make redress and heal these historic wrongs. And if Spencer would come up, we could light the chalice. Hey. Every week we light a chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism, harking back to the use of flame in worship throughout the ages. The chalice comes to us from the refugee relief work of the Unitarian Service Committee in Lisbon during World War II. Please join me in these words adapted from The Dream of Now by William Stafford. They're on the screen and in your order of service. Our life we live by the light we find, and follow it on as well as we can, carrying through darkness wherever we go, our one little fire that will start again. Let us worship together.
Morning. It's good to be with you all. Thanks for venturing out. Our opening words are by the late Reverend Dr. Hope Johnson. They were read at the beginning of a worship service during the Institute for Ministry I attended last week. They're called One Love. We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one. Working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing. Getting to know each other. Taking risks. Opening up. Questioning, seeking, searching. Trying to understand. Struggling. Making mistakes. Paying attention. Asking questions. Listening. Living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community. Together, we are one. We're going to sing hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land. I invite you to stand in body and or spirit.
All right, good morning. I am Julia Santerre, the coordinator of religious exploration here at CVUUS, and I have a story for you this morning. So this story is called The Broken Bowl, and it's kind of an adaptation or interpretation of many different stories that I read. So there was a girl named Naomi, and she had a beautiful sky blue bowl. She loved this bowl. She ate out of it whenever she could, and just looking at it on the shelf made her smile. One day, when she was setting the table, the bowl slipped through her hands and crash, fell into pieces on the floor. Naomi was devastated. Now her bowl was broken and she wouldn't be able to use it anymore. Well, her grandfather, hearing the crash, came right on in. He saw Naomi, he saw her bowl. He gave her a big hug and helped her pick up the pieces. But before she could put them in the trash, he stopped her. A spark of hope lit in Naomi's heart. Could they fix the bowl? Her grandfather explained that they could use a Japanese art called kintsugi, and while they couldn't make the bowl like new, they could mend it. Naomi agreed, and so he got some glue and some shiny gold lacquer. Together, they worked to glue the pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle, and then they painted the gold lacquer along the joints. When it dried, Naomi traced her fingers over that gold veining. Her grandfather was right. The bowl was not like new, but it was a new kind of beautiful. And now it also held the memory of her grandfather and her mending it together. And when she put it on the shelf, it still made her smile. I wonder what the art of kintsugi can bring to other areas of our life. And now, please join me. You can rise in body or spirit as we sing the children, and I'm asking the children, we're going to rebundle because it's very cold outside. So let's go rebundle as we head over to Fen House.
There are many, many things that happen in the life of this congregation that bind us together in work and in play. And I know that Michelle has a special one that she wants to share with us. So I'm going to invite her to come up and do that. And then I'll distract you with other things.
So the first thing I want to tell you is if you need the Caring Network, which does all kinds of helpful things, right now, most of the Caring Network is traveling. So if you need anything, call me, because I am here. Okay, the second thing is, I know we're all very concerned now with this weather, with our neighbors who have no place to live and keep warm. And there are many ways to help them. But one of the ways is something that we here have been doing for a long time, and that is cooking for 1 meal a month at, or actually 2 meals a month at Charter House. The second Monday, a group of people led by Alan and Ravel make dinner downstairs to bring over. And the second Wednesday of each month, I make lunch downstairs to bring over. We have a group of incredibly wonderful people who bring parts of the meal, but they are few and they have been doing it for a long time, and some of them travel too. So after the service, I'm going to go around with a clipboard, and you just let me know if you would be willing to be on the list that we can call. Sometimes all we need is someone to bring 20 pieces of fruit. It's really not a big strain. You don't have to know how to cook. So I'll be around with this clipboard after the service.
Thank you, Michelle. And there is also information on that printed on the back of your order of service, where you will find a number of other pathways to connection, including next week after the service, there will be a congregational conversation. This is so you can plan ahead. Those take place usually around 11:30 or 12. People congregate, get their coffee, congregate up here, and discuss a topic with one of the ministers. Next week, the topic is where we're headed with ministry and our finances. And somehow, I know it'll be more interesting than the second half of that implies. Valentine's Day, the Death Cafe on the second Wednesdays, which is this upcoming Wednesday, meets at 6 p.m. with Reverend Christina online, and there's information about how to Zoom in and get into that on the website, so go to CVUUS.org if you're interested in doing that. And finally, Valentine's Day, there's an open mic night this Saturday, February 14th at 7 p.m. in the sanctuary. And see Carol Harden for more details about that. Another way we stay connected is through supporting this congregation and supporting other organizations in our community. Each week we share our plate with one, 50-50 typically, with that way, partly for us and partly for other organizations in the community. This week, we're sharing the plate with Green Mountain Justice, an organization that was founded by Tom Morgan, who was our ministerial intern for the last couple of years. He works tirelessly to make the systems that we have work for the people who need them, something that you wouldn't think would be that complicated, and if you talk to him, you'll find out the myriad of barriers that he has to overcome to make that happen. He's filled in gaps in some of our participation. There was, I think when he started this, no representative from Addison County on the Vermont Interfaith Alliance. There are now. That would be him and us as a congregation. And he does a lot of direct service, finding people who need services. His work is an expression of UU values. It's very hard to get a new venture off the ground, and Green Mountain Justice is just that, a new venture. His energy and his commitment needs our ongoing support. So I ask you to be as generous as you are able. After the offering is collected, please rise and join us as we take a moment to acknowledge one another by looking around the sanctuary. This morning's offering will be gratefully received.
Thank you for your generosity. This is a time in our service where we share our milestones and passages with each other. We have a number of them here. Speaking of the Caring Network, the first one is from Rosalie Cryon. She says, I'm happy to tell you all I am now sleeping on a new mattress in my repaired bedroom and showering in my own bathroom. Thank you to the Caring Network and many others who have kept me going for 2 months with meals, rides, shopping, and especially hugs. I appreciate all your efforts. This one is from Ravel Allen. I want to express my gratitude for the amazing life of Priscilla Baker, who enriched this community through hospice work and Wellspring singing, teaching, and being a supporter of Rokeby Museum. She has shown those who knew her both how to live life and how to leave it with grace. How to live life with passion and how to leave it with grace. That's Priscilla Baker. Oh, same thing. This is from Marnie about Priscilla Baker. A good friend of many in the Middlebury community died this week. Priscilla Baker lived a life of giving and sharing and amazing devotion to many important organizations. She was a founder of the hospice. What's going on with this mic? Is it me? It's going in and out. Of the hospice singing group Wellspring, and guided it through the important work of sharing beautiful and supportive music. A number of us in this congregation are members of Wellspring and are grateful for the life of Priscilla. She was a gem. And then this last one is from Karen Cooper, and this is about our community cupboard, which you all know about, hopefully. It's a little food cupboard we have right outside the Fenn House. And Karen says, thank you to everyone who has answered the call for donations to our community cupboard. We are continuing to see high usage by our neighbors. So your donations are much appreciated. And thank you, Karen, for managing this. There you are. Okay. So I'm going to share a prayer. And this prayer was inspired by the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. How many of you know who she is? Not enough of you. She's the current president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, whose focus in our denomination is on sanctuary, justice, and community care. She was recently recognized for her leadership by receiving the 2026 Faith Award from the National LGBTQI Task Force. So I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer by lowering your eyelids or placing a hand on your heart, taking a breath. O Spirit of life, God and goddesses of many names, we pray. We are here in this sanctuary with a spirit of gratitude for our faith and this community. Our hearts are broken, but open wide, waiting for hope. We are grateful for the relentless and vibrant strength of ordinary citizens who are showing up and standing up to the inhumane and violent treatment of people. We are grateful for the people in this community who are caring for the immigrants, the unhoused, and all the vulnerable people in our midst. We thank the labor movement for its enduring lesson to stop being intimidated by those in power, and to instead trust in the holy and steadfast strength of the community. We thank the growing underground network of people and communities who are engaging in civil disobedience. We also give thanks for the faith traditions rooted in loving our neighbors, a devotion that demands we protect one another without hesitation and take action against every kind of violence. Our hearts are heavy with grief and rage at the unnecessary and merciless murder of people by ICE this past January. There are 9. Geraldo Lunes Campos, Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres, Victor Manuel Diaz, Iber Sanchez Dominiquez, Renee Good, Paradise La, Keith Porter, Alex Preti, Luis Beltran Yanaz Cruz. Although we may not know them, we send our heart energy to their loved ones and their communities. May their deaths not be in vain. May we be inspired to shine our light on all people each day. O Spirit of life, help us stay connected to one another as grief and rage, exhaustion and despair make their way through our communities. Practices that disregard human dignity and create a climate of violence are intended to weaken the bonds that connect us, trap us in fear, and convince us we are powerless. May we know that each step we take, from protesting to letter writing, from speaking out to caring for our neighbors, makes a difference. Help us to prepare our resistance for the long haul. Inspire our disruption and keep us connected in these disabling times. Keep the spirit of life and the spirit of justice alive in our hearts for the coming weeks, months, and years. And may we sing together until our songs are songs of victory, and our children know themselves to be safe and whole. May it be ever so. Blessed be. Aho. Amen. I invite us to remain seated as we sing Spirit of Life, hymn number 123.
Come.
invite us now into silence, silence in our own hearts, to feel our own prayers this morning. So how do we make and find meaning? How does meaning making foster resilience in our lives, in our communities? Every journey I take, whether it's into a movie, through the woods, on my cushion with another person, or during a ministerial retreat, is an opportunity for me to create meaning and resilience. How do you create meaning? Where do you discover resilience? We intuitively know meaning helps us thrive, but we really rarely stop to ask, why do we need meaning? Or what is meaning? Meaning can be understood in different ways, and as I share these three, I invite you to hook into which one resonates with you. Number one, as something we derive, share, and create. As a construct, an experience shrouded in mystery. And the last, as the end, purpose, or significance of something. Throughout modern history, one of the questions that humans have asked the most is, what is the meaning of life? Philosophers throughout the ages have studied the notion of meaning. Some see meaning as a transcendent experience. Some think meaning is discovered through logic and reasoning. Others believe there is no inherent meaning in the universe, just in our own lives. I like what Joseph Campbell says, quote, "Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning, and we bring it to life. It is a waste of time to be asking the question when you are the answer." If we ourselves are the answer to meaning, then perhaps we need to give ourselves permission to be both human and magnificent. Today, psychology and philosophy have a general understanding of meaning that seems to be something like, we're not sure exactly where meaning comes from, if it is inherent, or if it is real at all. What we do know is that humans flourish when they have it and suffer when they don't. Meaning is fluid and individualistic and dependent on the context of our lives. It may be easy to find meaning when things are going well, but what about when we feel broken from a loss, a betrayal, a trauma, an illness? What about when the world around us is falling apart and we feel hopeless or helpless? The Japanese practice of kitsugi, which means golden rejoicing, rejoining, actually, not rejoicing. I said rejoicing. That Julia shared with us earlier may shed some light. The essence of kintsugi is the practice of focusing one's intention on life's hidden beauty and power by using a golden laced liquid to transform brokenness into beauty. When we feel we are shattered or broken, we can repair and rebuild ourselves, not just by putting our parts back together, but by reinventing and transforming ourselves with new meaning, new beauty, new stories. Instead of harboring on personal or collective suffering to prove we are unworthy or unlovable, or that the world is horrific or irredeemable, kintsugi focuses on what is possible. Is it possible for us to set aside our self-defeating emotional conclusions, the stories we've constructed about ourselves and the world? Can we create a new story, a new timeline, where we give ourselves permission to be human and magnificent, so we can see the beauty and the love that does exist in the world? How are you broken? Where are the cracks in your being that could be filled with golden light? We can only engage in kintsugi's transformational process if we focus on what is possible. Rumi, the great Persian poet, said it well. The wound is the place where the light enters you. This light, this liquid gold, can bring us back to wholeness, helping us find meaning in our suffering. So what is the liquid gold or the healing light that helps make your cracks and wounds beautiful? Karen Armstrong tells us all religions are designed to teach us how to live joyfully, serenely, and kindly in the midst of suffering. And our religion is no different. Our values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity are guidelines on how to do this, how to live as people of faith. Here's a story. When I was 26, I journeyed to Greece to visit family in Athens. They encouraged me to go to Crete, where my ancestors lived before World War II. Crete is a mystical place where I felt deeply connected to the land and the people, my people. When I was there, I learned that German paratroopers invaded the island during the war. The German invaders were met by Cretan villagers and farmers bearing kitchen knives and garden tools. The retribution was devastating. Entire villages of men, women, and children were lined up and shot for assaulting Hitler's finest troops. These stories were painful for me to hear. But these stories helped me bring light into these old ancestral wounds of not belonging, and help me understand my fear of being killed in this life for my beliefs. While I was there, I visited an old stone church overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. And next to it was a gravesite of both Greeks and Germans. It was part of an Institute for Peace and Understanding founded by Alexander Papadakis. He had lived through the war. He believed his people needed to let go of the legacy of hatred the war unleashed, and so he founded this institute. Many years later, I discovered a colleague of mine, the Reverend Robert Fulgham, had visited the Institute and attended a lecture by Alexander Papadakis, who had founded the Institute. Robert had a habit of raising his hand at the end of any lecture or talk when the audience was asked if there were any final questions, and Robert always asked the same question. Can you guess what it was? What is the meaning of life? He always asked that question. And no one ever answered him. How could they, right? They would skirt around the question or ignore it. So at the end of Alexander's lecture, once again, Robert raised his hand and asked Alexander, what is the meaning of life? There was nervous laughter in the room, but Alexander responded. He opened his wallet and took out a small round mirror and held it up for everyone to see. He told everyone how, as a small boy from a very poor family, he came across a motorcycle wreck in Crete. It was during the war, and the motorcycle had belonged to German soldiers. Alexander saw pieces of broken mirrors from the motorcycle lying on the ground. He tried to put the pieces back together, but he couldn't, so he took the largest piece and he scratched it against a stone until the edges were smoothed and it was round. He saw it as a toy, fascinated by the way he could use it to shine light into holes and crevices. He kept that mirror with him as he grew up until he was an adult. And over time, it came to symbolize something very important. It became a metaphor for what he might do with his life. After Alexander finished his story, he answered Robert's question. He said, I am a fragment of a mirror whose whole design and shape I do not know. Nevertheless, with what I have, I can reflect light into the dark places of the world, into the black places in the hearts of men, and change some things in some people. Perhaps others may see and do likewise. This is what I am about. This is the meaning of my life. We human beings are resilient and resourceful. We have infinite ways of finding meaning and infinite potential sources of meaning. We can find meaning in the sacred and the sublime, in the devastating and the delightful, in our suffering and in our joy. We can find meaning in the tiniest of places, like a sunflower seed, and the grandest of places, like a faraway star. Our capacity to find meaning in the brokenness, both within us and around us, is dependent on our resilience. And our resilience is dependent on our freedom to choose. Every moment, we have the ability to choose between beating ourselves up or offering ourselves kindness and acceptance. In the world, in our communities, we have the choice to be greedy or generous, individualistic or interdependent, justice makers or navel gazers. In some ways, it all comes down to choosing love over fear. Meaning is made present through our daily choices. And meaning does not always come immediately. Sometimes it's created over time, like a chosen family, a garden, a quilt, a revolution. We can also create meaning and build resilience in simple, everyday things. My daily routines of watching the sunrise over the lake, breath work, cooking, offering a listening ear, help me practice so that I am more likely to find meaning and feel resilient when the world becomes dark or I feel depressed. Is there a difficulty you are facing right now? Can you ask yourself, how might I uncover meaning in this difficulty? How might I use this stressor, this challenge, this suffering to grow? Can I give myself permission to be human and magnificent? Australian neurologist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl was sent to Auschwitz in 1944. While there, he discovered a difference among those who survived the experience and those who do not. The difference was a sense of purpose. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he writes, "What was really needed was a fundamental change in our attitude toward life. We learned that it did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather what life expected from us. We needed to stop asking about the meaning of life and instead to think of ourselves as those who were being questioned by life daily and hourly. Our answer must consist not in talk and meditation, but in right action and in right conduct. These tasks, and therefore the meaning of life, differ from person to person and from moment to moment." Frankl understood that our primary motivation is our will to find meaning in life. Perhaps this is why we come to worship. Frankl also believed meaning can be found in any circumstances when we give ourselves over to something greater than ourselves, whether it's God or a cause or another person. Our need for community and our passion for justice is a quest for meaning. And Frankl's most challenging truth: we always have the freedom to find meaning even in the face of unchangeable suffering. Our spiritual freedom lives in our ability to choose in the moments in between things, when we can decide to let the light in, or as young Alexander did, shine the light into the dark places of the world, so that we can proclaim aloud, I am human. Say it. I am human. I am magnificent. My life matters. My life makes sense. My life has a purpose. We are a people of a free faith. So let us keep cultivating a community here at CVUUS to help people explore their sense of meaning and discover resilience by giving ourselves and one another permission to be human and magnificent, so we can truly become the beloved community and the peacekeepers we are meant to be. May it be so. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Adam and no. Addison. No, who are these? John, Addison. Thank you. Okay. Our closing words are by Viktor Frankl. What is to give light must endure burning. I'll read it again. What is to give light must endure burning. Okay, let's extinguish our chalice. The words are on your screen or in your OS. Oh, Jordan, where'd you go? Do you want to extinguish it? We extinguish this flame, remembering always to keep love at the center.